Oh guys, okay. Hello, welcome back. Tonight, I'm gonna be reading some more of the Word. I'm gonna be reading Samuel. We got First Samuel as we've been reading. We've been in the book of Samuel, so we're gonna be reading this. I'm not really as much high energy right now as I usually am, but I don't know. It's kind of late too, so yeah. But anyways, we got First Samuel. Yesterday or last night we read First Samuel 2, verse 1 through 11, and then today we're gonna be reading First Samuel chapter 2, verse 12 through 17, and possibly even through the end of this passage. Let's see where does this go? How many verses are in this passage? Okay, 21. Maybe to verse 21, but at least to verse 17. So, we're reading 1 Samuel chapter 2, 12 through 17. And I actually read this earlier, but I forgot what it was about. I don't really know what all of it means, so I'm going to be going into more in depth right now. So let's see. So let's just read this. So now the sons of Eli were sons of Belial. They knew not the Lord, and the priest's custom with the people was that when any man offered sacrifice, the priest's servant came while the flesh was in seething, with a flesh hook of 3 teeth in his hand, and he struck it into the pan or kettle or cauldron or pot, all that the flesh hook brought up the priest took for himself. So they did in Shiloh to all the Israelites that came thither. And also before they burnt the fat, the priest's servant came and said to the man that sacrifice, give flesh to roast for the priest, for he will not have sodden flesh of you, but raw. And if any man said to him, let them not fail to burn the fat presently, and then take as much as the soul desires. And then he would answer him, no, but you shall give it me now, and if not, I will take it by force. Wherefore the sin of the young man was very great before the Lord, for man abhorred the offering of the Lord. Okay, now guys, so what this whole passage is talking about, what this is saying is explaining the sons of Eli, which are the king, basically, in this book. He's the king. Eli is the king in Samuel, and it's explaining how the sons of Eli, how they were abusing the Lord for their own personal gain, because it says the sons of Eli were sons of Belial, and they knew not the Lord. And the priest's custom with the people was that when any man offered sacrifice, the priest's servant came while the flesh was in seething, with a flesh hook of 3 teeth in his hand. So what a flesh hook is, that's like what people would give for an offering to the Lord. And so here in verse 14, it says he struck it into the pan or kettle. So they're making a burnt offering. They're making a burnt offering of flesh. Yeah, they're burning flesh as an offering to the Lord. And so this is when the flesh hook the priest took for himself. So they did in Shiloh to all the Israelites that came thither. And also before they burnt the fat, the priest's servant came and said to the man that sacrificed, give the flesh to roast for the priest, for he will not have sodden flesh of you, but raw. Okay, but look in verse 16. This is what really shows the greenness and how the sons of Eli are actually abusing the Lord for their own personal gain. So it says, if any man says to the servant, like the priest's servant, if anyone says to the servant who's serving the offering, if the people who are like giving the offering, if the servant of the priest, if anyone says to the servant of the priest, let them not fail to burn the fat presently, and then take as much as the soul desires. So, and this is, then he would answer them, no, but you shall give it to me now, and if not, I will take it by force. So, this is explaining the sons of Eli, how they would make a burnt offering and give it to the servant, the priest's servant, but then like immediately want to take it back or whatever. And if the servant would say no, the servant said no and he rejected, then the sons of Eli would it says, if you not give it to me now, if not, I will take it by force. And wherefore the sin of the young man was very great before the Lord, for men abhorred the offering of the Lord. So the sons of Eli, they wanted to take everything like for themselves. Like they would give an offering to the Lord, but then take the offering right back for themselves, Like instead of making the offering for the Lord, they just took it back for themselves. So the sons of Eli were actually very greedy, and they just abused God. They just abused burnt offerings, giving burnt offerings to the Lord. And so I don't really know what this passage has to do with what else has been going on in the story. I know Hannah's prayer and song, I know this is about Hannah just praising God. And then in here, in verse 11, in this passage, it's saying Elkanah went to Ramah to his house, and Hannah's son Samuel would like minister to Eli. So the priest was also really greedy. Eli is the priest, and in here, not only are the sons of Eli greedy, but the priest is also very greedy, because, hold on, where is it? It says the priest servant came. Hold on. It says, and all the flesh brought up to the priest took for himself. So the priest literally took the offering for himself. He didn't even consider anything. He just took it for himself. And so these are some greedy people. So you can't be having like greed or anything. You don't want to be greedy at all, because you just be brat. You just turn into a brat or whatever. But I'm really low energy right now, so I'm just kind of acting weird. I act weird when I'm low energy. I also act weird when I'm high energy, but I act even more weird when I'm low energy. But yeah, I will see you on the next one. And do not let greed get in your way with, I guess, your walk with Christ or whatever. You don't let greed get in the way of that. But, and yeah. So like with Eli and the priest, you don't want to be like them. Instead, you want to be like Hannah, having faith in God. Or at least trying to find faith in God. If you don't have faith in God, you gotta go on the journey of finding faith, because it's a journey. It's not just having faith in Him; it's also a journey. So you cannot let greed get in the way of your journey with God. It's not. It's not just a journey with having faith. It's a journey in general, it's just a whole journey. But specifically, if you're struggling with faith, you gotta go on that journey too. There's multiple journeys inside of the one big journey with Christ, you know? There's different parts of it, like, you know, like when Moses was leading the Israelites, or the Egyptians, or, yeah, when he was leading the Israelites, they were going on this big journey, and the Israelites were going through a lot of tribulations and stuff, you know? And, but Moses or God, but God would provide for them, though. So, God will literally provide for you on your journey, you know? Well, you just gotta ask Him for some kind of protection or some guidance or something. You gotta ask Him to show you something, you know? And you just gotta go on the journey. You just gotta learn how to grow in faith. I'm still on the journey too. And yeah. But anyways, y'all have a good night. I will see y'all on the next one. God bless y'all. Amen.